What is going on, everybody? My name is Riley Welch, owner of 92 Social, and welcome to the 92 Social Podcast, Season 2, baby. Today we are joined with Andrew from Crystal Head Vodka. He's actually a reoccurring guest, came back last season with Signal Hill Whiskey. A great conversation. He teaches me a few cocktail ideas, so let's get to it.
Hey, Riley, my friend. Great to see you again. Very excited to talk to you today about Crystal Head Vodka and just about day-to-day life, my buddy. So I couldn't be happier to be with you today.
All right. So we'll get into the business, the bottle, the vodka. But first things first, let's make some cocktails.
I couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. Let's get started. You know, what's a conversation with a few little swallies, right? A few little drinky poo.
Yeah, so I'm going to let you take away. You're going to describe how to make the cocktail. I'm going to follow as best I can. And then, bada bing, bada boom, let's get a little drinky poo.
Trial by error, right? Trial by fire. Let's see how it goes. So, hi, everybody. My name is Andrew Daw. I'm the Canadian brand ambassador for Crystal Head Vodka here in Canada. As Riley alluded to earlier, I'm also the brand ambassador for Signal Hill Whiskey, which was what we talked about in the first episode, but today we're all about vodka. So we are very excited because we recently launched, in the past couple months, we launched our newest version of Crystal Head Vodka called Onyx, which is the world's first ultra-premium vodka that's been distilled from Blue Weber agave. So we have a very special cocktail in mind for you today. It's one that I've created. I'm very happy with it. I love a margarita. If anybody knows me out there, you know I love a good margarita. This is a riff on that. So Jalisco is the region in Mexico, the #1 state for the production of Blue Weber agave for the purpose of tequila. So that's where our grains are sourced from, our agave is sourced from. And we're calling this cocktail the One Night in Jalisco. So what you're going to need is your cocktail shaker. And Marley, I believe you have one too, right?
Oh, buddy. Yes, I do.
You got it all there. So me and you, we're going to build this together at the same time. We're going to get our tools out. So we're going to start off with our Blue Weber agave Crystal Head Onyx here. And we are going to pour up 2 ounces into our cocktail shaker. Now, that skull shot glass you have is 2 ounces. It's perfect.
So for people, is that what are the difference between this guy? Okay.
The one we're currently using here now, the wider end is 1.5 ounces, and the smaller end is 1 ounce. So let's fill up the smaller end twice.
Okay.
I thought you were going to go with that skull one, and that's the glass one. That's perfect 2 ounce pour as well, too. Just for those people out there who got that one as well.
All right.
Holy moly. I apologize, folks. I forgot my lime juice, my freshly squeezed lime juice. Forget that.
Freshly. Wow.
So, in our cocktail shaker, we have 2 ounces of our Crystal Head Onyx here. Yep. Now, we're going to take our jalapeno here. So, we're going to cut off about 2 slices. Now, this is all depending on people's personal preferences. I like it a little bit spicier. Now, the thing with jalapeno is, it all depends on the seeds that are inside the jalapeno pepper itself. So that's where all the heat comes from. It's not from the peppers, from the seeds. So you want to make sure, no matter how many slices you put in there, depending on how spicy you want it, you want to make sure you get at least three or four seeds in that cocktail. So I personally like a little spicier. I'm going to put 3 rings in there with a couple of seeds. Now, for those who don't like it as spicy, I recommend maybe 1 ring, maybe 1 seed in there, 2 rings. Make sure it's 1 to 2 seeds, somewhere around that area.
All right, I'm going to be ballsy for a second and go for 2. And I might, you know what? I might be playing myself, but screw it. Hey.
True. And you know what? If it's not spicy enough for you later on, we can always figure it out after that. Right?
Exactly.
Now, next thing is cilantro, people. Now, if anybody knows me out there, again, you know I like a lot of cilantro. Unlike my girlfriend who hates it, she has that thing in her where it tastes like soap to her. So unfortunate, I do not have that affliction. So I love cilantro. So I'm going to put a nice, what I call a healthy amount, basically a palmful of cilantro. Now you want to make sure that you rinse off your cilantro. There's a lot of dirt that usually comes in these when you buy from the supermarket. And boom, we're just going to slap that, put it right in there. Now, before we add the rest of the ingredients, once Riley joins me here, we're going to take a muddler and we're going to muddle all these ingredients together. The reason why we don't want to add the rest of the liquid ingredients is just because sometimes when it comes too deep with liquid in there, it makes it more difficult to muddle all the ingredients properly. And Riley, you're doing it the right way. We don't want to beat the tar off this, okay? We just want to gently blend these ingredients together. We don't want to destroy them on the inside. Just gently press them, and you're good to go.
I just got a wolf of that.
Ooh, oh, man, when you get that cilantro and jalapeno in your mouth, your face,
Good
buddy.
Good morning.
We're going to take our lime juice, and listen, you got some real lime there. That's perfect, too, okay? The Real Lime Company, fresh lime juice. I've worked in bars that use both. It's all great. So we're going to use 3/4 of an ounce, 0.75% of an ounce. And last, but certainly not least, is you need some agave syrup too.
So how much agave, hopefully I said that right, do we put in?
Once again, 3/4 of an ounce. So same as the lime juice.
Okay.
Now, again, this is all your personal preference. I have a bit of a sweeter tooth, so I do enjoy a little bit extra in there. I have no problem with it. Some people may find it's too much. In that case, 0.5% of an ounce, half an ounce is perfect.
All right.
Now, the fun part, and this is where it's going to get a little loud, folks. We're going to start shaking this cocktail on ice. So, let's grab 3 or 4 ice cubes, put it into our cocktail shaker.
I got a few more.
You got it in there.
Sorry, teacher. Sorry, teacher.
No worries, buddy. No worries. See, this is what we do around here. It's not that hard. So, I see you put it down. Now, do me a favor. Just give it a little slap on top. Perfect. Now, when you pick it up, put one pinky underneath, full grip, and top finger on top, full grip, and just start shaking. Don't be afraid.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Get up high. This is how bartenders make their tips.
Is this why bartenders wear like tight shirts so you can flex? Is that it?
You know it, buddy. We work on tips, you know. Now, you're going to shake this for around 10 seconds or so until your hand starts getting a little chilled. Perfect.
All right.
Now, Riley, see where on the side there? Just give it a little smack like that.
Okay.
With your palm.
Oh, no.
You can do it. Don't be afraid to give it a nice one.
Oh, no, Andrew. Oh, no.
All right. So, I'll show you. On camera here, see where the point connects to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, the most connection there? You want to go a little bit to the side there where there's a gap. So see, there's a bit of a gap between the top and the bottom?
Yeah.
That's where you go, like, you just slap it inside.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You might have to go ahead.
That's all right, my friend. So, in our rock glass, we're going to put a salt rim around half of it. You know what? Santa Margarita has a salt rim. There you go. I like half of a salt rim. I find sometimes it's too much. Now, you can use regular ice if you want, but I also got these large format king cubes made.
Wow.
So you can buy these silicone inserts online on Amazon or your local shop. Great. Don't be afraid. Just give it a nice smack on the side. Hold the bottom firm, and then boom. Now, I know there's going to be some pros out there like Oliver Stern used to always try to teach me I'm doing it wrong, but there are some other techniques.
I was a server. I wasn't never a bartender.
It's all right, brother. So then we're just going to take our fine strainer, our sieve, and we're going to pour it out. The reason why we're using this fine sieve is because You know, when you're bartending, you want to make sure all the little bits of mint and jalapeno we just muddled in do not go in the cocktail. You could be on a date. You could be going to a job. Going back to work. Who knows? So you want to make sure you don't get all those bits and pieces in your teeth. And then we're just going to garnish this with a couple little cilantro leaves, like this. Well, it's what I call the slap and tickle. Just wake it up, spuzz it around front, and boom. Just like that, we have a beautiful one night in Jalisco cocktail here.
Beautiful.
Right? Now, I'll tell you a funny story. So I've been bartending my whole life. I've never broken the top of that glass, that shaker before in my life, except for my first day with Crystal Head Vodka.
Really?
I wasn't officially even with the company yet. Hadn't signed any paperwork, but they brought me in to do some videos with our owner and creator, Dan Aykroyd. So I'm not gonna lie, this is the first time I was on a big stage like this, and I was a little nervous, and I was making my cocktail, and next thing you know, I couldn't get it open like you're having difficulty now. So I started getting a little nervous, a little sweaty.
Yeah.
I remember I smacked the hell out of it, and next thing you know, the top shattered. It was the first time it ever happened to me. I was doing a milk-based cocktail. It shattered all over me. My hands are bleeding.
Oh, no.
I'm covered in milk now. And Dan Aykroyd looks at me, and I just met him about 5 minutes before this, and he just slaps me on the back, says, "Nice try, get better luck next time." Walks away.
No, Danny, no.
I was like, well, this is a great first day to the company.
Yeah, it's one hell of a story. I swear to God, it's gonna be pissing me off.
Riley, you see where and see now, you see how it's on an angle there?
Yeah.
An angle on that glass?
Yeah.
So take the point that's on your right hand there, smack that against a hard edge. Exactly where that lip is. There you go.
My man. My goddamn man. All right. So what you did before was grab the ice cube, right?
Ice cube, yeah. You want to make sure your ice is in first, because if not, you could splash out some of the cocktail. Well, and I'll save my first sip for when you're ready to join me, my brother. See, people listen, we're live here now. We're having a good laugh. Things happen. You can pre-plan all you want, but you never know what's really going to happen out there until you get involved.
And that's why I was a crappy server. So let's move it forward. So you grab this guy, right?
Yeah, our fine sieve, no matter what size it may be. Perfect. And just put that over the glass and dump it out over. The reason why we're using a fine sieve, besides the fact I just mentioned about the muddled components in there, is you never want to use the old ice that you just shook the cocktail on to put into your fresh drink. You always want to use fresh ice.
That is a great point.
Your ice is already half dilute at that point, so it's going to start melting faster, and it's going to over dilute your cocktail. That's not what you want. Especially, listen, we're in Toronto here now. People generally, when the bars and restaurants are open up, you're paying $15, $18, $20+ for these drinks. You want to make sure you're getting what you paid for and getting it done properly.
Exactly.
So you got a cocktail there? We can finally cheers?
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, brother.
Pop. Thank you for coaching me through this experience.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Oh, how are you? Whoa.
See? You get that freshness, the citrusness going on, the freshness of the cilantro is well balanced. It's not overly sweet. That little bit of salt rim really balances out as well, too.
Because the jalapeno, I'm not feeling the jalapeno, but it's a good touch.
Again, too, every jalapeno you'll get is different. Some may have more seeds to them. Some are going to be a little hotter. So that's when you start noticing why your taste buds are generally like. If you can take a hotter one, even though I put 3 rings in this, I could have, based on those rings, I could have put 2 or 3 more in there. Because this, to me, is not spicy enough for how I like it. But
right.
There you go.
So, cheers, man. This is a hell of a drink. Because for me, cocktails, it's usually, if I do go and get one, it's the old fashioned, it's the Manhattan. But this is the first real cocktail where I'm enjoying it, and it's out of my comfort zone
Yeah.
almost. So cheers to you. So let's get down to business. How's business going, especially like you were mentioning when everything is closed down and things are not looking the greatest? How's things going?
Well, thank you for asking, and it's been different this past year, obviously. Listen, I'll be fully honest. When I joined on last January, it was my first time being a brand ambassador for a company. It's interesting because I never really experienced what a real brand ambassador is supposed to be doing during normal times. When I joined on in January, everything happened. We were meeting the accounts, we were introducing ourselves, doing some presentations, and then I went to Winnipeg for the Winnipeg Whiskey Show for Signal Hill Whiskey in early March. And when we came back, everything was different. Everything really shut down the week afterwards. So it's been very interesting. So many great people here in this city. It's been tough for them. Obviously, our job itself has changed drastically. It's not really as much selling as there used to be in the industry. Right now, we don't want to put any unwanted pressure on people. Listen, people are having a tough time out there, and you got to feel bad. So, God bless the people out there who've accepted the new realm of reality and who are changing their business models. There's excellent people out, like the guys from Mother Cocktail Bar, for example, Massey, Josh, and Austin. They've transformed to mostly a virtual world, which is what we've all had to do. Same thing with the Butcher Chef, Miss Things, all these great accounts of ours, Antler here in Toronto itself, they've all had to change their models and much more virtual, more education. These cocktail kits we've really been going after. It's just the new reality we're in. So for my job particularly, it's been a lot more education, a lot more virtual happy hours, cocktail demonstrations, things along those lines. Instead of, what we love to do is sit at the bar and have a few drinks and, buy drinks for people around and give them in-person presentations. Now it's a lot more virtual. So Zoom has become huge, as I'm sure you're used to as well. How about yourself? How's your job changed in the last few months?
Well, that's the thing. That's before we get into me, my business. This is the perfect opportunity for you, Crystal Head, Signal Hill, because it is your personality shows, it's shining right through, and having that virtual aspect. Because for me, having that virtual, you lose that personal connection. Where sometimes when you meet a person, maybe for the first time, or if it's a buddy, there's always that awkward silence or that awkward feeling. But for you guys, and especially you, Andrew, there is none of that. So kudos to you guys for doing what you're doing, because that's what I noticed. First thing is there's no no, you go no, but it's
Exactly.
But on my end, with everyone else, you have to learn to transition. You have to learn to adapt to the times, because if not, you are sadly falling behind. And then for me, as for 92 Social, it is we are positioning ourselves into more before it was business. Let me help you, but now it's more of here's my services. Let me help you, because we're both in Toronto and there's a lot of mom and pop shops. And while I'm going down Queen, for example,
oh man,
one week I see a restaurant, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll definitely grab some food there. And then the next week it's gone. So for me as the owner, I'm like, I want to reach out and not necessarily say, hey, this is my services, give me the money. It's more of hey, I'm offering a discount. And I'm offering you a plan to help you succeed, because I've definitely seen companies who have transitioned and it's been killing. They're going online. They put more money into marketing, and they're saving money on the labor, but they're also getting a lot more in business. So that is the biggest lesson I've learned, is the ability to adapt to situations. And again, having a virtual, this is a prime example. What I'm talking about is virtual. How do you capitalize on this opportunity?
Yeah.
doing what we're doing right now, and having, it's more of like a package. Having a personality is huge, more than ever, and having the just ability to connect with people on a different level. So like it's funny because before COVID, it is I thought I knew a few things, and then throughout this whole ride, I'm like, oh no, I gotta go back to school almost to really configure things.
Well, it's interesting, and I completely agree with you. Like right now, if you don't have the capability to adapt and change who you think you are or the way your business is supposed to run, you're going to be left behind. Because like, let's face facts, things aren't going to go back to the way we thought were normal. All right, so the new normal is going to be this. It's going to be a lot more like social media, a lot more Zoom, a lot more interaction, virtual interactions, things along those lines. So the quicker we adapt, those are going to be the people that make it further ahead, I think. So our company's been in a great position in that way. You know, we are Vodka with the creative spirit. So this has always been our tagline, and it's just streamlined that and speeding up, to be honest with you. And we've had a very good year. Like, let's face fact, we released Pride, the Pride bottle last year, which was a huge success in Canada and the US and the UK. We launched a brand new spirit, which, you know, the market was telling us don't do it. Everyone should stay pat at this moment, but we didn't want to do that. We are Vodka for the creative spirit. Instead of what most other companies do with flavors, we don't believe in that. We wanted to show the versatility of what vodka can be depending on the base grain you make it from. So, like, our original is made from peaches and cream corn from Chatham, Ontario. Our Aurora is made from English winter wheat from Yorkshire, England. And now our Onyx is distilled from Blue Weber agave from Jalisco, Mexico. But all of them are vodka, but it just showcases you, if you try them side by side, the difference of what a base grain can really make for it. And remember, there's no additives. There's only base grain and Newfoundland water in all these spirits here. Proudly Canadian too.
Yes. See, that I'm happy you said that, because nowadays and that's where the 92 Social podcast is all about, is supporting local and doing your part to spread the word in any capacity they can. And for your, like you were saying, Chatham, Ontario, supporting local. And this is where like our tagline is join the community. Let's grow this community and just make this as big as possible. Let's have a lot of business thrown each other's way. And going off the bottle, we're talking about the bottles now. Do you know what's going on with this? This is like for me, great marketing tool. Fantastic. Because when I go down the LCBO, I see this. I'm like, oh man, that makes you want to buy it.
It's such a stunningly beautiful bottle. Like, listen, let's just bring it back for a second here now. The bottle design itself has always been probably our number one marketing tool itself. It's the Crystal Skull. It's created by Dan Aykroyd and his business partner, famous Texas artist John Alexander. It's based off the legend of the 13 Crystal Skulls. There's a lot of spirituality behind our company, okay? So the legend of 13 Crystal Skulls, with this mythological legend that the Aztecs, the Mayans, and other indigenous people, they found these crystal skulls buried all across the Americas. And the legend goes that if you brought them all together, you'd have infinite power. You know, it was highlighted in the Indiana Jones movie several years ago. Whether the legend is true or not, that's not for me to decide. You know, it's a great story, and I always love the saying, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. All right? So who knows? But they're filtered over, our spirit is filtered over Herkimer diamonds, which again, in the gemstone world is known as the amplifying stone. So no matter what your feeling is, if you have some Herkimer diamonds, it's going to amplify that, hopefully positively, okay? But then the onyx itself, so in the gemstone world, onyx is known as the warrior and protector stone. So I like to say it is the big brother of the family. It watches over the aurora, which is based after the aurora borealis. The original as well. All of them are poured over to Herkimer diamonds. It's based off the legend of 13 Crystal Skulls. You know, Dan Aykroyd is our owner and creator. He wrote Ghostbusters. You know, his family used to hold seances on his farm in Kingston, Ontario as well. So it all comes full circle in with our story itself. So the bottle, same as our Aurora too, they go through a very unique proprietary process. This is not just like paint covered over it. It is a very unique process that's proprietary to our company. But like, you know, the Aurora, for example, is spun into a magnetized chamber, and we release electronic magnetic powers out at various rates and speeds. So they all bake on differently. Like I have some light here. So no matter what way I show the light to this, it's going to be a different color. It's really fascinating. It's really cool. The onyx, like I said, in the gemstone world, the darker it is, the more negative energy it can absorb and exudes out positivity. And that's what it's meant to be. So you're meant to be, and if you look closely at the skull, he's smiling. The mandible is smiling on it. You're meant to have fun and enjoy yourself when you're drinking our products, right?
Oh, this is gonna be the thumbnail.
Yay! I love it. I love it. It's the exact opposite of what you know, the LCBO originally deemed when Crystal Head was launched in 2007. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that story, but the LCBO and the Ontario government tried to ban Crystal Head when it first launched because they said that the skull shape was just a subliminal message that you were supposed to drink yourself to death by drinking your bottle. Exactly. That's why we may be a Canadian company, but we are released in the U.S. first, because it did take a bit of time to convince the Ontario government to let us be who we are, and that we're meant for freedom and creativity.
Good Lord. Yeah, I definitely heard the LCBO is a little tricky when they are selecting, or however they do the process. They're a bit tricky, but the attention to detail.
Right quickly, Riley. Anybody who's listening from the LCBO, we love you. Keep up the great work, though.
Oh no, like I go there every week almost. Wait, what? No, the LCBO, a great spot to go, especially in Ontario, but the attention to detail, absolutely amazing.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's
absolutely
beautiful.
The question is going to come up, so people are going to ask, like, how is this a vodka, not a tequila? It starts off in Mexico, is done from Blue Weber agave. How can you tell me this is a vodka, not a tequila? So let me briefly explain. Vodka can be made out of any raw material in the world. Okay, it doesn't matter if the base grain is agave, wheat, corn, rye, barley. Like, you know, I've recently seen a company release what they call a single malt vodka made out of malted barley. I've seen it made out of beets, pineapples, doesn't matter. You can make vodka out of any raw material. There's even actually a company who just came out who's created vodka out of air. I don't know exact science behind it. Maybe you shouldn't be speaking on it because I don't know much about it. But yeah, Forbes gave him an award as well too this past year. Interesting stuff. But you can make vodka out of any raw material in the world as long as it hits a minimum alcohol by volume of 95%. So I won't bore you with the definitions or the processes of distillation, but that is only achievable through column distillation. So we actually teamed up with the distillery that's located right outside the town of Tequila in the state of Jalisco, Mexico. Okay, we source the grains from the neighboring state of Nayarit. Okay, there's only 5 states in Mexico allowed producing Blue Weber agave for the purpose of tequila. There's Jalisco, Nayarit, Guanajuato, Michoacan, and Tamaulipas. I'm trying to pronounce those correctly, so please forgive me if I mispronounce some of them. But this is as authentic as it gets. So this is triple distilled, twice through pot distillation, and then one final column distillation that gets the ABV up to the legally required limit of 95%. It is then shipped from Jalisco, Mexico to St. John's, Newfoundland, where our distillery is. It is then blended down it is filtered 7 times, 3 of which do our cone of 10,000 Herkimer diamonds, which adds a little bit of minerality and it pulls out some impureness. Blended down to 40% using Newfoundland water, the cleanest, best tasting water in the world, and also has a hint of sweetness to it. And what you're left with is this beautiful spirit here. So, and that's how we're vodka, not a tequila. Okay, folks? Tequila must be made completely in Mexico. This is finished off, produced in Newfoundland, Canada.
The best
and
part.
it's at 95% ABV, which calls it vodka at that point.
There you go. Yeah, and I didn't know that about vodka.
Oh, you can make vodka out of anything. It's crazy.
Good God.
Yeah. We can make bathtub vodka if you want it.
Okay, let's go. That's episode 3.
That's episode 3. That's the live on location one.
That's a live on location. Yes, exactly. But yeah, man. Before we get a little too long in the podcast, where can people find you?
So we are available in the majority of LCBOs across Ontario. We're in almost every province across Canada. We're in the majority of every state in the U.S., and we're also in the U.K. We're all across the world. We're in many different countries all across the world. We've been around, I believe we're in over 70 countries. We are, I may be slightly mistaken on that, but we are in the majority of the countries across the world. Crystal Head has been launched since 2007, and we're worldwide. We've won multiple awards, and actually, Anthony Dies Blue, who's one of the world's most accredited raters of alcohol, recently gave Onyx 95 points out of 100 as well. I want to clarify that. If it's 95 out of 1,000, that's nothing special. But 95 out of 100, one of the highest ratings he's ever given. We couldn't be prouder of this. And while I'm at it, the Aurora very recently was also awarded a higher rating than 2 of our major competitors out there as well. So this is distilled from English winter wheat. It's much more of a drier, spicier, bolder version of it. Oh, it's just so good. It's so good, people.
You said it. It is
and
so
you can
good.
find me. You can find Crystal Head Vodka on social media, Instagram, Facebook. You can find me as well, too. So Crystal Head, at Crystal Head Vodka. Myself, I'm the national brand ambassador. You can find me at, my last name is Daw, D-A-W. So my Instagram handle is Domination30, so DAW-Mination30. Follow our U.S. brand ambassadors, David Sikora and Billy Cavallo. Our UK brand ambassadors, Chris Baldwin, a.k.a. Monkey, and PJ Jor as well, too. So those are our brand ambassador teams across the world.
You said it, man. Everyone, all the information will be down below in the description, so you have no questions, it's going to be right there. So make sure you send them a follow. You buy a bottle. It's in the LCBO if you're in Ontario, and it's in anywhere in local liquor stores near you. Ooh, that's a nice commercial.
Thank you, Andrew, for coming on the 92 Social podcast. All of his social media and Crystal Head Vodka social media will be down below. Hey guys, let's grow this community. It's season 2 of the podcast. If you know anyone wants to be a part of this community, wants to be on this podcast, let me know. Riley at 92social.ca. Take care.